Today on Redneck Rescue, we're back over in Victor and Driggs, where we've got a snowmobile that is 3 ridges back. The last ridge down sounds like it's about a mile. Let's go check it out. Check out that morning view, right into the clouds. You could even see the Grand Tetons in the distance there. So this is going to be our first pole. It's about a mile or so. Our second pole is this little bit right here. Third pole is up to the top of there, and then it's down and back. Yep. So this is our scene. Here's our sled. The crank went out on it. We're going to start off with a snatch block off of this tree, do one up, one down. Here we go. So here's our first pole. We got the snatch block set up, A-frame to the running boards, down to the dead sled. As I drive down the hill, it pulls the dead sled right up the hill. Next move, we're towing it. We're gonna get down through here and see how far up that we can go before we have to one up, one down. We do a ski pull and a push to give it a head start, to get it up and over the hill, and then go as far as we can. It takes teamwork to maneuver a sled. He has to stay on the brakes and keep tension on the rope, but not too much. I've got to maneuver my corners, take them wide, and gas it as much as I can. Brap. And that's about as far as we're going. From there, we're going to do a one up, one down. As you can see, it's a long ways out of this hole. We've got to climb this hill, up into this saddle. Once we hit that saddle, we hang a right, go all the way up that ridge line, follow that ridge line all the way up to the very top. So here's our next pole. We've got this sled buried in. We're just going to pull it right up and out. All right, got a great ski pole?
Just drive right to the top, baby.
Now we're going to go ahead and get the gas-powered winch out. We got it hooked up to my sled. Going to pull this right on up. Here, Redneck Rescue, we like to call that moving in a positive direction.
For the uphill part, do you want him on the sled, or do you think drag it with no one on the sled?
So if I tell, it's almost better just because like with bumps it can veer off. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when it gets to a point where it's not going to go, it's not going to go even without him on it. Mm-hmm. And that way, when it does go to the point where it's not going anymore, he's on it to hold the brake. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm towing just without a person though, I'll tie to the ski tips. Mm-hmm. But for hard pulls, I definitely go A-arms. That way, it's onto the mass. All right. For those about to rock. And with our ski poles, we're off to a strong start, racing along right up the hill. This is where the hill starts to get a little steeper. Got to kind of step from one running board back to the other to maintain traction and make it as far as you can before it just digs in. I'll go set up an anchor up top. And we'll one up, one down, all the way from up there. I'll give you a ski pole. I should be good. This roll of rope is 600 feet long. I'm going to drive up the hill and unspool it to save time. With this, we can do big moves without re-rigging. It just goes on and on and on. So I think I might just do a double pull on this one. Yeah. Get it to right here. Then we can just stop and then get the last bit.
You want two downhill sleds?
I think we're okay with one.
Okay.
That track is pretty decent.
Watching you drive away with that spool was like just watching progress.
Dude, so much ground, one go. So I'm gonna pass you on your right side on this downhill side. As you kind of come around this bend that's gonna try to pull you into the fresh, just try to stay on the track, but do what we gotta do.
Well, copy that.
Here we go, let her go. That's perfect. Look at that turbo trench. Now we're going to have to pull that sled uphill a little bit to get rid of tension on the rope. This shows how steep this hill actually is and how far we've come. I'm just going to do a U-turn and drag it back up the hill.
Alright, I'll just make sure to very snag this sled up top.
We'll go ahead and hook the rope back to the front of the sled. I'll pull up the slack and I'm going to get the winch out. So we got the gas-powered winch out. We'll pull right up and over the ridge. Wait till you see the next pull. 30 feet a minute.
This is awesome, bro.
So we just crossed the halfway point. We just pulled right up here, up and over this one. We started in that valley down there, and the sled originally started clear down in here. Halfway up this pitch, 2 more pitches on the way out. Our next move is another 1 up, 1 down with ease. You can lay that out. All right, game on in 3, 2, How much more you want to go? I can do it.
I was being super conservative on the radio there, sorry. You got like 15, 20 feet of pull to leave the slack.
10-4. more. Always better safe than sorry. And 3, 2. Even put me into a great place to back up.
Works great.
Go ahead and hold tension on that rope for just 1 second, and let's swing it to the skier's right side. As I go up the hill, I make sure the rope's not hooked on any trees. And it's also another chance to just do another wheelie. Woohoo! I'm gonna go run this next stretch real quick before we roll that rope up and see what we really want to do.
So I should pull this?
We're done with that. Tempted to throw a snatch block right up here. We could like pull part of the way, stop, unhook the snatch block, just to pull you straight, and then you could take that with you, and then we'll run the last bit.
Okay.
That way it's not pulling you over into the trees.
Yep, yep.
But we can still do one pull. I keep all of my gear in a nice small dry bag attached to my tunnel and the box. That way when I need the snatch block to hook up, or whatever gear I may need, it's accessible and quick. It also doubles as a blanket to lay down when I'm running my gas-powered winch. We're gonna set up for one more, one up, one down, off this tree right here. Go ahead and hook up on your end.
Copy that. We're connected. We're ready.
10-4, I'll tell you when I'm ready. I'm going to go ahead and clean some of the snow off the tree so it doesn't fall on me while I go ahead and set up the anchor. So we made it one more pole. We're almost up towards the top. Came from the valley floor. And we're getting closer and closer to the top of the ridge, step by step. All right, we just finished one up, one down. That's the top of the ridge right there. Our pump. So we had two sleds set up right here as an anchor. They started to drag backwards. Once we finally got them to set, thank goodness for turbos. Trenching.
You think we should do off the sled right here?
Hey, get another hand over here.
Skis maybe? Or do you think it's a pull?
I think it'll pull once we get moving. I think if we can use everybody to get moving, if it doesn't work, then we can do that.
I think we got it with a 4-ski pole.
I think so too. We've got two more down and back up to complete the first pull. So he's going to go ahead and ride the dead sled down this pitch, and we'll reconnect at the bottom and tow it as far up the next one as we can go. Maybe we'll go extra fast, just 'cause. You ready for a go? And I'm stuck. I'm hitting you with a little ski pole. Wait, you're gonna want it. Oh yeah. Oh.
Two skier and shooter. Yeah, I was gonna winch this one little one real quick.
So we started just below the far ridge over there. We came up and over, down this one, made it most of the way up this one, had to get the gas-powered winch out. That's the top where we're going, is downhill from there. And that's a beautiful sight. That's the Valley of Victor. Now we've disconnected, and he's gonna coast it on down. You can see our next pole right there in the distance, and one more after that. 4 o'clock and winning. Woohoo! So we've got the snatch block set up off this dead tree here to the back of Chipper. We got this pole to come up. We just had another sled die on the other side of that ridge. And that's our last pole to get out. So we're halfway up our last pole and the sled's at the bottom. And we're about to lose our sun. Moving in a positive direction. The magical hour. So we just did our last one up, one down over the top. On the down, the dead sled is on top. And just look at that. How nice is that? That's the main street that runs in between Victor and Driggs. Look, it's a roll can hardly. Rolls down one hill, can hardly get up the next.
Dude,
This is
sounds
one
like a
steep
snow
pitch.
bike just rolling.
3 more miles to go. So here's our last move of the night. So we got the dead sled. We got a snatch block at the top of the sled deck hooked to the Dodge. Just gonna back up and pull it right on. And yet another successful mission here at Redneck Rescue. If you enjoyed today's episode of Redneck Rescue, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We got other rescues coming down the line. Have fun out there.